Warning, this video contains topics such as death threats, cyberbullying, homophobia, transphobia, and bigotry in general. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay, I think it's time that I've talked about this person who's been constantly harassing me online. The person is none other than Danijel Vukov. So basically, Danijel is this kid from Bosnia who is apparently a right-wing extremist and harasses me for being a furry and for supporting the LGBTQ community, alongside other things such as my misophonia and other neurodivergent disabilities. Yeah. The strangest part is that no one really knows about the things that he does. Like, if you go to his YouTube channel, he looks like a normal person. Like, he posts art and stuff like that, and people like him. But behind the scenes, he gets pretty aggressive towards gays and furries. Let's start off with the fact that he literally makes killing art out of the people he targets. He made several killing art featuring OCs made by people that I know who are furries, and also made some featuring my OCs. And the worst part is that many of the OCs that he drew represent real-life people. For example, he made a killing art out of an OC I made named Tangerine, who was made to represent G3, one of my online friends and favorite voice actors from Japan. So basically, he sent a death threat towards G3. Wow, Danijel. He would also get his online friends to harass me and my friends for our quirks, and many of the times they would try to outright trigger me, like trigger my misophonia on purpose. Like, one time it was I think it was for a milestone of subscribers I reached. One of them sent me the kids cheering sound effect, which is one of my worst triggers. Keep in mind, Danijel is ableist as fuck. Speaking of ableism, he once sent me a link to a video showing how much he hates LGBTQ. Basically, the video is LGBTQ in a nutshell, or whatever the heck. And it shows disabled looking guys. And I feel like the reason why he sent it is because he wants to tell me that gay people are ugly or disabled. That's straight up ableist. Another really ableist thing one of his friends did was downplay my trauma. He basically said that I was faking my PTSD, which is very, very insensitive. For those who don't know, I experienced severe bullying at public school for many years because of my weird triggers and fears, and kids would use it to their own advantage to trigger me on purpose, and it drove me up the wall so much that around 8th grade, I nearly committed suicide because of those kids. Thank goodness I'm still alive, though. But Danijel, really? Now time to talk about another thing that Danijel does. He supports a very problematic person. He supports this guy named Mepios. I think he's like a Sona or OC, but basically, Mepios is this guy who kills and dehumanizes furries and gays, and also calls them degenerates. Wow, that's really fucked up. And you know what's the worst part? Mepios seduces little girls. I'm not joking. There's literally a fandom wiki page all about Mepios. And it lists a lot of very fucked up things. And Danijel supports this character. Like, he actually likes this character, and he always makes insults saying, Mepios, get Mellon's OCs now! Another thing is, I don't know if this is outdated or not, but Danijel has an octopus ink fetish. He once made a compilation video of an underage Baby Shark's Big Show character farting ink on people. And also once made an art of that same character farting ink on a K-pop idol that my friend likes. Again, I don't know if this is a current thing, but if he did grow out of it, then that's good. He would also go to my DMs in DeviantArt and spam about how much he hates me, furries, and gays. That's fucking crazy, bro. Who in the right mind would go and just spam lots of hate messages to a person you dislike? Not to mention, he also sent me the link to a video that proves that he's a MAGA. I didn't know it was possible to be a MAGA if you're not American, but apparently it is. He also called me a pig, which could not only be body shaming, but could also be misogynistic because pig can be a misogynistic slur. And he also thinks an autistic person's special interests come from brainwashing characters. Okay, first off, fictional characters don't exist and therefore cannot be brainwashed by people. And second, that's very, very ableist. Not surprised coming from an ableist. He also made a rant video on me, and most of the reasons are either exaggerations or fake reasons pulled out of his ass. One of his reasons for hating me was me supporting toilet fetishes, which is definitely not true. I am revolted by toilet fetishes, as seen in my videos discussing my groomer. And the only reason why he said that is because I used to be friends with some people who had toilet fetishes, but I myself do not support it. Another thing he said in that rant is that my OCs are toxic. How are they toxic? And that's coming from someone who literally has a square with arms and legs as their sona. Not to mention, for some reason, he refers to me by my real life name when insulting me. Okay, I admit that back when I was a little kid, I was young and dumb, so I would post my real name online. But ever since the polycult doxing incident, I've removed all of those. And Danijel has been using my real life name and private information against me. And honestly, I'm scared of the doxing thing happening again. Okay, here's the biggest thing about Danijel. He is a fucking hypocrite. First off, he hates furries and gays, yet 1, he makes furry OCs himself, and 2, he's friends with a non-binary person. He's actually shown signs before of respecting that person being non-binary, but for some reason out of the blue, he started attacking gay people and trans people. I don't know if you know this, Danijel, but non-binary people technically count as trans people because they're transitioning from their original gender to non-binary. So yeah, that's technically transgender. You're being a hypocrite right there. And for his furry OCs, I don't know what his logic goes by, but apparently only certain types of anthropomorphic animal characters are furries to him, when the truth is any anthropomorphic or sapient animal is a furry. So by your logic, if you really think all furries are bad, then you should be hating on characters like Mickey Mouse and Gumball. Another thing is that he claims that he hates fetishes, like the fact that he falsely claimed I support toilet fetishes, yet he has that octopus ink fetish that I mentioned earlier. And also what I think is a transformation fetish. I don't know if that is a fetish, but he posts transformations a lot on his accounts. That's pretty much all I have to say about Danijel. If I forgot any things about him, I'll probably make a document or another video. I don't know. But yeah, guys, if you like Danijel, I suggest not to trust him unless you agree with his views. Yeah, guys, I think that's all I have to say for tonight. It's getting pretty late. See you guys later.